Every time somebody buys your offer, they are switching from another solution to your solution. This concept of switching is called the switch, and it comes from a framework called Jobs to be Done, or JTBD. JTBD refers to a group of concepts about why people buy, which makes it a highly useful resource for business owners. I'm here today to break down the forces of the switch so that you understand why your people buy. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Dr. Mimi Zoe. I am a conversion copywriter for coaches and course creators. I work on messaging, emails, and web copy, and I build all my work on customer research. This means that I look at what your audience says about their pains and desires when I write to them so that everything is based on fact and nothing is ever made up. Okay, so let's dive into a story that illustrates the switch. Picture this. Every week, you and your partner split the same crispy chicken sandwich from your neighborhood farm-to-table cafe. It is a lick-your-fingers-good sandwich with the perfect amount of sweet and savory sauce, and it's worth going back for every week. So for months, this crispy sandwich is part of your routine, this chicken sandwich. And you see no reason to consider other items on the menu, even though they might be just as good. In fact, there are risks to trying out another sandwich, like what if it's not as tasty, or what if it's a waste of money, or what if your partner doesn't want to try something else? And then one day, maybe you are just a little bit bored with routine and you feel that any change, even a small change, could help you feel refreshed. So the next time you think about ordering from your cafe, you look at the menu. The apple smoked bacon sandwich could be worth a shot, you think. So that weekend, when your partner has other plans for lunch, you order the bacon sandwich and it is just as tasty as you thought it would be. A success. Finally, after months of sticking to the chicken sandwich, a new sandwich finds its way into your lunch routine. So this story highlights the switch from jobs to be done. According to the concepts of the switch, every time someone buys something, they are switching from their current solution to a new solution. In our story, you are switching from a chicken sandwich to a bacon sandwich. The switch is one of the most powerful marketing tools you can master, because if you can figure out why people switch from another solution to your solution, that is marketing gold. So let's break down the switch more. According to Jobs to be Done, the switch conceptually looks like this, and it is made up of 4 forces. The push of the old, the pull of the new, the habits of the old, and the anxieties of the new. In our story about the sandwiches, the push of the old is that you are a little bit bored with routine. The pull of the new is your curiosity about the bacon sandwich. So these 2 forces, the pushes of the old and the pulls of the new, they propel you to another decision, to trying something else, to trying the bacon sandwich specifically in our story. Now, let's dive into the 2 forces that block change, the habits of the old and the anxieties of the new. This is really what I want to focus on today, because for anyone to switch from their current solution to another solution, to buying from you, they need to break the habit of their old solution, and they need to neutralize the anxiety of trying a new solution, which would be you, your offer. So first, let's understand habits and anxieties in terms of our sandwich story. The habit is the chicken sandwich, and it is a strong one, which isn't surprising because habits are so strong. They're just like the default setting in our lives. Think about how your family always goes to the same place for Sunday brunch, even though there are probably other options around. The thing that breaks the habit in our story is boredom from routine. But boredom alone isn't enough to try the bacon sandwich. The anxieties of the new still need to be neutralized. And in this case, the anxieties are maybe not liking the bacon sandwich, worrying that it's a waste of money if you don't like it, and wondering what your partner will do if you want to break your routine. When it comes to a $14 sandwich, these fears are easier to neutralize. You can justify spending the money because you still need to eat lunch. And Like when it comes to your partner, you just wait until they have other plans. So now that we understand the habits of the old and anxieties of the new, let's talk more about a more serious business example where they are a little more complex. And I say this because you cannot influence habits and anxieties equally in every business. For example, in my business as a copywriter, I have much less control over the habits of the old than I do the anxieties of the new. Here's what I mean. For my audience of business owners, the habits of the old include doing their copy themselves, so DIY, using templates, maybe from their business coach or someone else, or working with another copywriter. These are all valid solutions, and there's nothing wrong with any of them. When my clients come to me, though, it's typically because their current solution no longer works. Like maybe they don't have time to DIY their copy anymore, or maybe they realize the templates aren't actually personalized enough, or maybe they specifically want a copywriter trained to write conversion copy, which is what I am. Anyway, so some event happens in their lives and they realize they need my specific expertise built on the thousands of hours I've poured into becoming a strategist and copywriter. The thing is, I have very little control over this event. By the way, this event is called a trigger event in Jobs to be Done, and I will link to some other resources I have on this below if you want to read about it. But anyway, there's not much I can do to influence the habits of the old. Like I cannot decide for you that you don't have time to DIY your copy anymore. That's not fully something in my realm of control. So all I can really do when it comes to the habits of the old for my audience is try to understand it and try to understand the events around them. On the other hand, I have much more control over the anxieties of the new. I know from the customer research I've done that the biggest anxiety when working with a new copywriter is investing thousands and not knowing how it's going to work out. So to help neutralize this anxiety, I created my Small Start Big Win offers. These are packages that allow you to dip your toes into working with me. You get my expertise on your copy and making it more conversion focused without the usual done for you, without the full done for you price tag of conversion copy. And I'll leave more info about that below if you are interested. Okay, so now that we have broken down what the switch is, we've looked at it in terms of our sandwich story, and we've looked at the habits and anxieties in my business, I have two key takeaways for you. First, when you think about your offer, you need to think about what your audience's habits of the old are. Like, what are they used to doing to fulfill the solution that your offer also fulfills? Is there anything you can do about them? There might not be, in which case maybe a better place to focus your attention is understanding what breaks those habits. And then secondly, you can look out for your audience's anxieties of the new. What can you do to neutralize them? This could involve creating a low-tier offer, writing more content to build trust, or holding a webinar so that your audience can have a live interaction with you and getting a taste of what it's like to work with you. Or it could be any other strategy or some combo of these strategies. If you think in terms of what needs to happen for your audience to break their habits of the old and neutralize anxieties of the new, you will be one step closer to closing sales. If you would like for me to take this off your plate, maybe because you're struggling with it, I will link to my Small Start Big Win packages below so you can check them out. And if you would like to be the first to receive more information on how to use buyer psychology to craft conversion copy like I've shared in this video, you should sign up for my newsletter, Smarter Customer Research. I will also link to that below. Finally, if you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more insights into messaging and conversion copy, and tell me in the comments, is there one thing you feel businesses can do to neutralize anxieties so that more paying customers feel comfortable breaking habits of the old to switch from their current solution to a new solution? All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.